So let's talk about the Regal LS series of boats. Stunning premium bow riders. You know, look for those people that want versatility, performance, want to spoil themselves a little bit, a Regal LS series is the right boat for you. They start out at 22 feet with their LS2, going all the way up to the LS36. In our market here in the Kawartha Lakes, we do really well with that 22 to 29 foot LS series boat. This one we're in right here is an LS4 Ultimate. And the first thing you'll notice is the space. I mean, there's beautiful ergonomic edge-to-edge seating, convertible seating arrangements, nice double wide bench seats for the passenger and the driver that flip back. So depending on how you're using this boat, how many people you're taking out, everyone's got a really, really comfortable seat. Where most boat manufacturers in the kind of premium bow rider segment have gone a little stagnant or stale over the last few years. You know, you'll see older decks, the hulls, the interior layouts really haven't been modernized. Regal's done the opposite. They've completely innovated. They're going all new seating, all new material choices, an extra level of refinement and customization with the Ultimate series. And you'll be really hard pressed to find anything in that 22 to 29 foot range that's really gonna compare or be able to rival this. So let's walk through. We're in an LS4 Ultimate here today. A lot of what I'm talking about, what's beautiful about this LS series lineup is a lot of it's interchangeable. You know, the hulls are different, the seating configurations do change based on the boat, but a lot of what you'll see here in this LS4 is going to relay and be relevant on an LS6. A lot of what you see on an LS6 and this LS4 will also carry through and be a similar design on an LS2. So let's dive in and see what this boat has to offer. So it's really interesting when I'm talking to potential clients, but also talking to current Regal owners. You talk about the versatility of this boat. A lot of people think, okay, I want to accommodate a lot of people. You know, there needs to be a social element to our boating. I either need to go really, really big to have the seating I want, or I need to shift to a pontoon. The beautiful thing, like this LS4, with the double wide convertible seating, you push it back, you've got a pontoon-like cockpit on the boat. So those days you're entertaining, you're floating at the sandbar, you've got nothing but space here. If you're going out for an evening cruise, you don't have as full of a boat, you can flip everything back, regain some of that conventional driver's feel, you know, forward-facing seats, forward-facing passenger seat, but very, very versatile, very, very comfortable. You know, the edge-to-edge seating's nice, the convertible dual back seats here, and it's the little things. You know, when you speak to Regal's pedigree and refinement, the corner here where most manufacturers would come and do a 90-degree seat cushion, taking off, you know, it eliminates this comfortable layout in the seat here. So this kind of comfort curve cutout here makes a very nice ergonomic seat. There's a bench filler seat here at the rear. You know, you can comfortably fit a dozen people in the cockpit of this boat, and everyone's got room to stretch out. And it only gets better as you get bigger. You go to that LS6, that LS9, you know, they're absolutely wonderful boats for entertaining. There's really nice features, removable teak table. You can get them with options for refrigerators and things like that to kind of really help with the amenities in the boat. Beautiful overall layout. If you haven't seen one in person, if you haven't tried one out, get to your local dealer, come check us out at Buckeye. It is really worth seeing these in person. Let's head over to the bow and we'll see what else this boat has to offer. It's a bow rider. So let's look at the bow. Very refined, very comfortable. The ergonomics are great. This is an LS4, so a deeper freeboard boat. You know, it is going to be a little deeper than that LS2 and obviously more length. The LS6, LS9, even more space up here. But the first thing you notice is the comfort. Like, you can stretch out, your body's hugged by vinyl. There's no exposed fiberglass on the deck rails. Nice big grab handle there. Which is standard on the Ultimate, an option on the standard LS4. And then nice little things like this. Fold down armrest, full stainless steel bracket. It's well built and comfortable. You know, you want to sit up here, you want to enjoy it, but also feel like you or your passengers are safe, are kind of being hugged by the cushions. This boat has it. At the same time, Tons of storage underneath all of the seats. You know, could have just had a seat that flips right out. This is on a gas hinge. You know, tons of storage in there. Got the bow cover and cockpit cover there. Anchor locker. Everything's very well thought out, very nicely laid out. Switching around, if you're doing some water sports, you know, it's more than a double wide bow on this. So if you want to fit a few people facing backwards, watching what's going on behind the boat, you've got that option. And still, when you typically move to the very front of most bow riders, it gets very, very shallow, right? You stop feeling the padding on the lower back and it's, you know, getting closer to your waistline. This is a boat you could be cruising around on bigger water, you know, facing rearwards, talking to everybody in the cockpit, and you're still very much in the bow. So overall, a really, really nice layout, well thought out. And again, you look at an LS6, you look at an LS9, they're just getting bigger at that point. So you talk about customization and making the boat specific to your needs. Let's talk about tower options. This LS4 Ultimate has the power tower standard, and then this one's been equipped with the hard top. So you can get a canvas bimini on the Power Tower S2 or the power tower. For those customers that want a little more refined feel, know they're always going to have it up. The articulating hardtop's a really nice option. So in the lowered position, this articulating hardtop becomes parallel with the boat. Really nice driver's feel, gets you out of inclement weather, gets you even more shade in the cockpit. Really cool feature. For some people, the standard bimini is fine, but if you think you'd utilize this and kind of want that lower, sleek coupe feel on the boat, the hardtop and the power tower is a nice feature to have. So we've talked about the experience in the boats from a passenger perspective. You got the edge-to-edge seating, the nice bow, ergonomics, flip-down features. This is arguably the most exciting thing on the whole boat is the helm for the driver. Typically, the person buying the boat is the person driving the boat. So it's really nice that they've spent some time and energy in designing a helm that is truly the nicest I've seen on any boat in our segment, in this segment or in the industry. This is an Ultimate Edition. Essentially with the Ultimate, you get these dual 12-inch screens on the dash. So that's an upgrade over the standard 7 or 9-inch screens you'd get on the other LS series boats. Really, really nice layout and user interface. You can see here I've got dedicated charts on the right side. I've got all my boating features on the left, changing the lighting in the boat, fuel levels, gauges, things like that. You can customize this screen to provide you with whatever fields of information you want. As someone who spends a lot of time driving the boats, my family's, you know, lounging, doing their thing, socializing. I like being behind the helm. I absolutely love this. The other thing they've done really well, which is a hard thing to accomplish on the dash of a boat, is large screens with a huge information display without losing line of sight across the dash. So you'll see a lot of boats that have these screens coming up and cutting into your field of view on the windshield. What you'll see here, two 12-inch screens, 24 inches of real estate there. I've still got a clear line of sight over the bow and almost my full windshield to look through. Really, really nice feature. It gives you everything you need just below, but you can still see where you're going, which is very, very important. The powertrains, I mean, the powertrains are one thing, whether you go from the standard LS4, let's say, to an LS4 Ultimate, the powertrains are universal. So it's not like on an Ultimate Edition, you're getting a different powertrain than a conventional LS4. This one's running the 350 Volvo V8 5.3 liter. Beautiful motor in this boat. It's mated to a dual prop stainless drive. The nice thing with these Volvo V8s is some of the added features that come with them. So this one's going to have some tow modes, some cruise assist modes, trim assist. So it's got automated trim when planing and cruising. You still have manual override on the helm here, but if you're just going for a day cruise and you want to set it and forget it, put that trim assist on and away you go. Another really nice feature available on the LS4 and up is going to be this optional bow thruster. This boat's very maneuverable, you know, just over 24 feet, very maneuverable, responsive, no problem docking it right here just with the throttle and the stern drive. But it is a really nice feature to have that bow thruster to pivot the boat, kick the bow out in those windy conditions or coming into kind of close quarter docking scenarios at the locks or at a friend's cottage where you're not as sure about the docking setup. Everything's here. I mean, you've got a head unit for your stereo on the passenger side. You can get companion screens so that your passengers can manipulate the lighting and the stereo and the music and all that stuff. But it's also right at your fingertips on these main screens. Other nice pieces of refinement. I mean, we've gone to digital keys, so there's no physical key for the boat. Your main power cutoff switch right here at the helm. So when you think about years, or in Regal's case, decades and decades of boat building, you learn a lot from what you've done in the past, and you learn a lot from customer and dealer feedback. And we see that come through in their new products. So when you look at these Regals, you know, the Ultimate, having the master power switch right here is brilliant. It's accessible. The automated blower comes on. From a driver's perspective, all I need to do is get in the captain's chair, touch it there, and away we go. Where conventionally, you know, you're lifting up cushions at the back, you're finding that master power switch, you're turning it on, and then you're coming to the dash, turning the blower on. They've really made the overall boating experience, especially the driver's experience, very functional, very seamless. So we've talked about the interior layout, the refinement, convertible seating, the dash. You know, now let's touch on the powertrain a little more. This LS4 has the 350 V8 Volvo. You can get some larger motors, obviously, as you go up in size. There's going to be bigger 6.2 liters, 380 horsepower, 430, etc. But we found this 350 V8 on an LS4 is the perfect pairing. It's absolutely beautiful. This is a 5.3 liter direct injection motor. You'll see a coolant reservoir here, so it is liquid cooled. Still uses that fresh water to come in and cool the heat exchanger, but your block isn't being exposed to lake water. It's just using that coolant to cool itself down. In marine gasoline engines, which tend to have a very long shelf life and exist for a very, very long time, this is the most modern, the newest tech that you're going to get. So Volvo's done a great job with their whole lineup, but especially these V8s, giving you an extremely powerful, reliable, and fuel-efficient motor, which is essentially everything, you know, the recreational boater wants. In terms of maintenance, what's awesome is, you know, Volvo's building these motors, and they're building them from the perspective of making the architecture specific to a boat. You're not taking a GM truck motor and just marinizing it and throwing it in the engine bay. They're able to design everything about the motor, its maintenance touch points, to be conducive to being in a boat. So when I look at this here, coolant reservoir right at the front, oil filter right here, up top with a remote drain. You know, we can do oil changes on these boats without having to get underneath, see oil spill into the bilge. There's your main oil dipstick there, and then a really nice feature, which has been around for a while, but is now on their lineup, especially with all these V8s. That's a drain point. So the heat exchanger that's going to hold that lake water, you obviously don't want freezing in the winter or in off season. So that's a maintenance point. You pull the pin, put that plunger down, it's going to drain that out. Obviously there's still other maintenance and oil changes, gear oil changes, things like that needed. But it does give you some peace of mind if you're going to be doing maintenance yourself, that it's really easy and well laid out. And for the dealers and the technicians working on these boats, they absolutely love them, because when they do need to offer some maintenance or get in, it's usually quicker, more cost effective for you as the owner, and really, really nice overall motors. We've got batteries back there, and then obviously tons of storage on each side. Another thing, just while we're looking at it, and you go to the pedigree, I'm coming back to, you know, how these boats are built. They're built to the highest standard. You know, this is a full fiberglass molded engine hatch. It's not plastic or puckboard or anything like that. There's dual gas shocks on it holding it up, so you don't just have one. Overall, really nice. There's a channel in here so that water draining isn't actually draining into your engine bay. It's draining down into these floor drains. And again, those are things you see on the cruisers, you see on the bigger boats, where, you know, water intrusion into the engine bay causes problems in the long term. And they're taking those design elements and applying it to their 20, 22, 24 foot bow riders. And while it may not be something that's marketed, it's just a really nice thing to see, because it's like, okay, that's all very well thought out, and it speaks to the entire build process, design, and reliability of the boat. So we'd love to hear your feedback and comments. I mean, if you have questions specific to Regal's lineup, you're welcome to comment below. If you want to reach out to us at the dealership, send me an email, get in touch. We've got these boats on display in the showroom. Right now it's a beautiful late day in October here in Ontario, Canada. So our days on the water are a little bit numbered, but if you want to reach out in the next couple of weeks and come for a test drive, we've still got boats available. Other than that, we'll be ready to see you at the International Boat Show in Toronto.